Hey guys, back with another build video here. This is the case that I'm going to be using on this current build, and it's by Cooler Master, as you can see. And this is the Masterbox Lite 3.1 TG. I'm guessing the TG stands for tempered glass. And as you can see just underneath there as well, comes with a couple of customization trim bits, which are the ones that are along here and the one along there. So on the picture online, it just shows them as red, but apparently it comes with white and black as well, so you can swap them out to however you like, I guess. I did notice this as well. This has got 4mm thick tempered glass, which is pretty impressive. And as well, I'm just noticing as well, this has got sort of a slight bulge, which is good. But, you know, I was sort of a little bit hesitant to go back to Cooler Master after, you know, that CMP 501. I think I did about 2 videos ago, and that was a bit of a nightmare just in cable wise and whatnot else. But anyway, we'll see how we go. This kind of, from what I could see online, I mean, it just shows, you know, fans lit up like LED fans. But apparently this is sort of like a clear acrylic, this whole part here. So we'll see when we take it out of the box anyway. I haven't even opened it yet. So I'll give you some specs quickly. So these are the specs that you can quickly see here. And, you know, it's just a mini or a micro ATX, and, you know, 2 120s on the front, one 120 on the back, and yeah, it can have a 240 or a 120mm radiator as well. So again, we'll see when we take it apart, and I'll take it out of the box and yeah, pull the side off and pull the front off, and we'll have a look. I'm hoping that the fans themselves go on the outside of the skeleton, so it can actually be on this side. So if you are going to run like a double radiator or a single radiator, you can have a push-pull going, but we'll see what's the go is then. All right, I'll take it out of the box. Okay, it's out of its box, and yeah, obviously you can see straight away there's that little box in there, which I'm guessing from looking at here as well, this depicts that these trim bits, there's 2 of each, so I'm guessing that they're the additional ones, which obviously, well, hopefully will be the white and the black ones. So yeah, so this is what I was sort of interested in. You can kind of see through the light. So this is like a smoke acrylic of some sort. So this is something different. It's it will accentuate any LED fans, I guess, that you do. But looking at it, as you can see there, it kind of like tapers down. So I think that they would, you know, 120s would go on the outside. So anyway, the other interesting thing I found as well when I was, you know, unboxing this as well, is that if you can actually see underneath here, so there's 2 different mounting spots for these hard drives. So there's one there, and you can just move it along. But yeah, I don't know why you'd want to move it along there. Maybe, I don't know, really. But I guess if you had like a larger PSU, like the ones that have got like the 140s or whatever, then you'd need a little bit more space, pull that across. If you're just going to use the single 120 up here or whatever for your thing, or just an air cooler as such. But it actually looks really cool. I'm liking it so far. I think I say that about all of my cases, but I do a lot of research on cases straight away before I even pick them up. I try to do as much as I can, but then again, sometimes there's not a hell of a lot of information on them, so you've sort of just got to wing it and, you know, go for it. Oh yeah, let's have a look at this bulge. Yeah, that's that's not much at all, so kind of freaking out a little bit. Hopefully when we get the side off, we can actually have a look, and then we're hoping that there is, you know, a large hole here for our 8-pin or 4-pin for our CPU on the motherboard. And you know, I'm a little bit wary because that CMP 501 that I did was just horrendous. So you know, I guess I could have on the last one, I could have taken to it with an angle grinder, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll get this apart and we'll have a look. I'll take the side off and we'll go from there. Okay, I've got the side off and I've got the front off. One thing straight away, I went to get this side off, and usually the front panels are held in there quite well. This, I hardly had to put any pressure on underneath it, and it just quickly popped off. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem, but yeah, it just quickly popped off, which was pretty interesting. Anyway, so this is the panel, this acrylic panel that we were talking about. Try not to get too much, you know, the shine on it, but anyway, you can see pretty much straight through it. And it looks like how you take these off is just like 2 screws there, and then you've got like, you know, just 2 screws down the bottom, and obviously they just snap on. Oh no, sorry, that's got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So 4 up there, 2 up there. So they just come off. And this is the other little box. I was just about to open it, but yeah. So yeah, you've got a white and you've got a black in there. So I think the black will look pretty cool. Let's get those out. So yeah, that's all they are. They're just a couple of like extra little, you know, trim panels as such. And yeah, even if you went for, you know, so there you go. That's all they are. But yeah, so it looks like we'll easily be able to get them on the other side, but I'll definitely double check that for you and see if I can get them on the outside. I can't see why not. Seemed like there was enough room. And yeah, we'll put this down now. Actually, I'll pull it up, and just so we'll see if we can have a look at, yeah. I don't know, I'm losing confidence straight away. Oh my God, really? That's all I've got? Wow. You strike again, Cooler Master. Why isn't there a hole over here? Why isn't there a half decent hole over here? That's nothing, eh? That is nothing. Wow. Okay, well, I'll just have to deal with it. But, I mean, straight away, it doesn't, you know, it's not much of a case, but you'd think that's tripping me out. Like, that's nothing. Maybe I can get it, like, underneath the actual motherboard or something. Maybe. Anyway. Alright, but it looks like there's a bit of a cavity behind here. Throw a couple of cables behind there. That doesn't look as though it's like a mounting for an SSD or anything. I think it's just to put some cables in and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm thinking that they are... maybe? But there's nothing else in there. This is all it shows that actually comes with it. So, anyway, whatever. So all we've got is these 3.5 bays there. But anyway, this will be interesting. So that's what we're looking at. So this is in its skeleton form. Not really much to it, but I mean, obviously, if you've got any sort of LED fans like RGB or something like that, they're going to look pretty cool going through that. And then obviously with your tempered glass. So I mean, I think this could look pretty awesome. And yeah, we'll see where we go. I'm a little bit disappointed about that cable management hole, which is up the top for the 8-pin. And, you know, obviously you had a few more, you know, other bits and pieces going through it, like for your wires to hide for fans and whatnot else. But anyway, we'll see how we go, okay? Okay, so guys, I'm sorry, but I've skipped past putting all the parts out and everything like that. I do have more than a few builds going on at the moment, and a few people are just impatient. So apologise for how fast this is going to have to be, but I'll take you through anyway what I've actually done, and then I'll power it up for you. You can have a look. Left off the tempered glass just so we can see everything that's going on inside. And this is really a kind of a smaller build. It's 7th gen, so I've got an i3-7100 in there. I've got a H60i. This is an RX 560. And I've got a B250M Pro from MSI as well. This is interesting. So if you watch my other build, this was from the Cooler Master from the other one. I was going to use it in another one, but I never ended up doing it, so I was hanging around, so that's fine. It's going to work really, really well for this. SSD up there, and then just a 1 terabyte. What I have done, yes, I do modify things. I've put this in there just because with the tempered glass, you sort of able to look at it, and this kind of just pulls your eyes away from the big gap as such. Whatever else? Oh yeah, so it's only a very, very small case, and there's 2 red ring LEDs going there. I've just now, I had all 3 of these going off Molex, but they're quite loud, these ones, so I didn't really like it. So I'm going through the BIOS to actually do it, and there's not really much room. But if we have a look, this one here, that's just System Fan 1. That's gone up, split into 2, and they do these 2. And then you've got the CPU one up there. That splits and then goes into 2, which does these 2. I was really, really honestly contemplating about not using this SSD and using the M2, but it was just time-wise, and I really wanted to get this together, and I already had that. I already had Windows 10 and stuff on it, so yeah, it's not a crazy build, but it's
it's good for entry level, and it actually looks really awesome once it powers up. So I've already installed all Windows 10 and all its appropriate updates and whatnot else. So yeah, and as well, this was because this power supply doesn't actually come. Obviously, it's not modular as such, but there, you have your usual your 8-pin, which is for your CPU, and then you've got your 24, which is for your board, and that's the only thing that's actually got this nice wrap around it. All the rest of them are just exposed. So I didn't want, they can actually look a little bit ugly in the end. So I've tried to keep that hidden as much as I possibly can. But when you look at it, it kind of accentuates it a little tiny bit. But it's but there is a fair bit of cables behind there. But they do bunch down or press down quite well, and there's no boulders or anything or pressing out. So anyway, I'll put the temper. I'll power it up so you can have a look at it, and go from there.
Okay, everything's all together now, so I thought I'd just give you a bit of an unveiling of turning this on as well. So there you go. It's pretty quiet actually, but then again, I've got these two, as I was saying before, they're going through the via the motherboard now instead of going through the Molex, as these fans actually were, when they're running at full speed, are actually quite loud. So I sort of just decided to bypass that. But yeah, I mean, with this this sort of tinted glass as such on the side, you can't really see a lot, but it's quite a good case. The one thing that I would have loved is just to have that little bit of extra fan coming from there, because sometimes if you were to go like a little bit bigger and say like put a bigger graphics card or something like that, and then you're bench testing it, or on Mark 3D, or if you are running something very demanding on ultra settings or whatever, the actual graphics card can put out a fair bit of heat, and it's only this one fan that can pull that heat out. So you probably need something like a major airflow, something that's really high. Anyway, but apart from that, it looks cool. It's good for like light gaming and whatnot else. Not too sure. I mean, I've been asked to do a serious build with this, but I just don't know for cooling side of things. But looks the part, and there you go. So sorry, you can't really see much inside it, but you sort of can. Yeah, as I said, there's not really much to look at really, to be honest, but it looks cool, and yeah. So there you go. Thanks, guys.